Hey y'all, welcome and or welcome back to my channel. My name is Janae, if you didn't know, and today's video is another true crime episode. So I got my wine right here, ready to go. So if y'all ready, let's go. First of all, that's the first time I'd ever did my intro in one take. And second of all, I just really want to address this scarf that I got on right now because I feel like I need to. Because y'all, I did my hair yesterday. And while I was doing it, the process, I was like, oh my God, this is about to be so cute. I can't wait. And then, when it was done, I was like, I'm about to take this down. But I had to record a video. And so I was like, ooh, what I'm gonna do, y'all? I didn't know what I was gonna do. I didn't know. So I had to make something shake and I had to work something out. So it looked a little decent right now. I think I look decent. But baby, underneath this scarf, underneath this scarf, oh, it's a mess. But you know what? As a matter of fact, I'm gonna show y'all my hair at the end of the video. So if y'all want to see this monstrosity of a mess, then y'all just stick around to the end of this video because woo. Anyways, also, real quick, I know I always say this at the end of the video, but y'all, I'm so close to 500 subscribers. So thank y'all to the 500, not the 500, girl, you getting ahead of yourself. No. Thank you for the 459 subscribers that I have at the time of this video. I am so grateful for each and every one of y'all. I'm so glad that y'all took the time out to subscribe, to watch, and listen. I'm super excited because my video is starting to get recommended to people. My videos is getting recommended to y'all now. That's crazy. But anyways, so yeah, like, comment, and subscribe if y'all not subscribed because your girl is on her way to 500. I'm so excited, y'all. I'm super excited for real. Can you tell? Anyways, I'm about to turn back on this heater though because your girl's getting cold. I got my blanket, but without the heater, it's See, I'm getting the sniffles. But I'm done rambling though, so let's just go ahead and get into the case. And today we are back in 2005, and no, matter of fact, we in 2004. We in 2004, and we with a woman named Lisa Taylor. And Lisa is a mother of at least 3 kids. It's not clear to me, based off the research that I did, how many kids she actually has, but I feel like it has to be at least 3 because she referenced a middle child at some point. So she's a mother of at least 3 and a grandmother to at least 1. And Lisa is pretty much just a sweetheart. Like, she has a heart of gold. I don't want to call her the neighborhood grandma per se, but she's the type of person who, if you hungry, she gonna feed you. If you need some clothes, she gonna give you some. And damn it, if you need a place to stay, she gonna give that to you too. And that's exactly what happened in 2004 when she met this young man. He was a teenager. His name was Milagro Cunningham. And he came over to the States from Barbados because back in Barbados, he had pretty much a rough childhood, like a rough upbringing. When Milagro was born, he was born to a mother who was addicted to crack, so he was pretty much a crack baby. And because of this, he had an intellectual disability, which caused him to not be that good academically in school. But in addition to not being academically all the way there for school, he was also just a big troublemaker. He was in and out of the foster care system, so I can only imagine that kind of contributed to part of his behavior because not all, I don't want to say all because that's not true because it's not true for all foster children, but a lot of foster children have trust issues and they have behavior issues because of the trust issues that come from being in and out of the system. You can't trust your mama, you can't really trust the system. It's like, what else is there to do? The only way a child knows is to pretty much just act out. And so that's what he did. Other than that, little is known about his childhood, but like I said, he did end up moving to the States. And when he got over here, he really just didn't have the best life. He was pretty much just moving house to house, didn't really have too much going for himself. He was a teenager. He was only 16 or 17 years old at the time. I believe he was 16. Yeah, I think he was 16 at the time. And he was, like I said, moving from house to house, just kind of struggling when he met Lisa. And so she offered him a place to stay. And not only did Lisa invite him into her home, but her best friend, Michelle, she also, you know, decided to do what she could and pitch in to help Milagro. So she would go and get her boyfriend, some of her boyfriend's old clothes that he wasn't using no more, and she would give them to Milagro. And while Milagro was there, things was going good. Everything was going well. He did, you know, normal kid stuff, like, you know, teenager rather stuff. Like, he played the games with her kids. He, you know, he just pretty much helped out. He was doing well with her. Like, she helped him a lot. And that's just how it was for Lisa and her family for about a year. Until one day in 2005 when Lisa had her goddaughter, Lachelle, over for a sleepover. I don't necessarily know if it was like a sleepover type deal or if Lachelle just always went to Lisa's house, because Lisa, she said herself that she spoiled the heck out of this little girl named Lachelle. And this is her friend Michelle's daughter. Remember I told y'all Michelle gave Milagro clothes and stuff like that when he went to live with Lisa. And so Michelle's daughter, Lachelle, is Lisa's goddaughter. And I know this is probably getting kind of confusing, so just stick with me here. So we have Lisa, who is just like I said, a kind-hearted individual, opened her home to Milagro. Milagro is a 16 or 17-year-old teenager from Barbados. And Lisa has a best friend whose name is Michelle. And Michelle has a daughter whose name is Lachelle. Okay, y'all got it? We here. And Lachelle, she's pretty much just a sweetheart as well. She was very lovable and she never met a stranger. And I mean that almost literally, because if you ever met Lachelle and you told her your name, like y'all introduced yourselves to one another, she was going to remember your name and your face. So the very next time she saw you, she was going to remember, hey, she basically going to speak to you and remember your name and your face without a problem. She just had that type of memory, and just a sweet, sweet little girl. She was only 8 at the time. So Lachelle is staying the night over at Lisa's house one night in 2005, and you know, everything's going good until she wake up in the middle of the night to her middle daughter telling her that she don't see Lachelle. And so Lisa's first instinct, obviously, go around the house searching. Maybe, you know, she was somewhere where her daughter couldn't find her. And so when they couldn't find her, Lisa called Michelle and asked her, did she pick Lachelle up? And Michelle is like, no, I haven't. And so with that, Michelle rushed over to Lisa's house. And so once Michelle get there, they realize that Lachelle's shoes is still at the door. And that's just not like nobody to just leave the house. First of all, like I said, she's 8 years old. So she's not just going to get up and leave the house anyway. So they call the police. And when they call the police, I don't know what the time frame is for this, so please pardon me on that. But when they call the police start investigating, talking to all the people in the house, and obviously, you know, they telling them their stories or whatever. And I can only assume that they started searching as soon as daylight hit, because it wouldn't make too much sense to do like a full-blown search in the dead of night, because like I said, it's 12 or 1 o'clock in the morning and it's pitch black outside. So I can only assume here that they get the searches going as soon as daylight hit. And so they searching parks, they searching behind houses, they searching local like rivers, ravines. They just searching pretty much anywhere and everywhere that they think that Lachelle could be. And it just so happened that Lisa lived a couple blocks away from a landfill. So not wanting to leave no stone unturned, they like, okay, well, let's check the landfill also. So they go into the landfill, and when you get to the landfill, it's like an access road. So they start on the access road, and almost immediately they see a pair of underwear and they see a pair of shorts. So they like, okay, she might be here. So as they're driving along the access road, they see some of those like, what they call them, construction dumpsters. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Like the big, just big dumpsters. Y'all know what they look like. But anyway, so like I said, they don't want to leave no stone unturned. So they go ahead and go and look into those dumpsters. Now, when one of the detectives do that, they actually see a recycling bin, just one of the regular rolling recycling bins that you would put outside on the curb when the trash man is about to come. So he sees that, and it's laid on his side, and the lid is closed, but he really just like, okay, well, this is the only thing in here. Let me just go ahead and look in here anyways. And thank God he does, because just seeing that lone like recycling bin in the dumpster closed, he could have just been like, okay, she not here, let's just move on. But like I said, luckily he did not do that. He got inside the big construction dumpster, and he opened the lid to the recycling dumpster, or the recycling bin, and he saw just a bunch of like, they're not cinder blocks. It was just a bunch of concrete, just a bunch of slabs of concrete inside of the recycling bin. But he also saw fingers like kind of sticking out from the concrete. So at this point, he's like, oh my God, we have found Lachelle. We found Lachelle. So he communicates this with the deputies, or with the detectives that's back at Lisa house. And he tells them that they have found Lachelle's body. And so the detectives over at the house give the news, and they are devastated. Like, when they tell the family, like I said, obviously they're devastated that they found Lachelle's body. And Lisa, she said that her first instinct, like, she passed out because she couldn't deal with the fact that Lachelle was under her care, and she kind of not necessarily allowed this to happen, but the fact that it was just under her watch, she just really just couldn't take that, and she passed out. The detectives are pretty much questioning everybody, asking everybody what they was doing, where they was at, and all the things that detectives are pretty much supposed to do when they have a crime that was committed. And everybody's just telling them like they don't know what happened. Everybody was asleep, and Michelle, she wasn't even there. But Milagro, he said that he was awake when Lachelle was abducted. He said that he was sitting on the couch when a white man came in, and he pretty much just snatched Lachelle up, ran out the house. He said that the white man had jumped into a station wagon with Lachelle, and Milagro chased him for chased the station wagon for just about 8 blocks. And when he finally caught up to the station wagon, the white man who ran in the house plus 3 other men jumped him for about 20 minutes before they just sped off in the station wagon. So the police took his statement, even though they really didn't believe him, because, well, that just sounds so far-fetched. How you chasing a station wagon? How you chasing a car for 8 blocks and actually catch up to it? Either the station wagon, the people who drive in this car are stupid as hell and stopping at red lights, or you Usain Bolt and you just running as fast as a car, because how? You know? Because, I mean, if I kidnap somebody, let's just say, I'm not going to do it, but if I was just going to kidnap somebody, I'm speeding out of there at 100 plus miles an hour. You not catching me, bruh. So back at the landfill, they're getting the crime scene ready. They cordoning everything off, like putting up the crime scene tape and doing all the stuff that they need to do to get, just to process the scene and everything. Now, mind y'all, it's 8 hours after. This is now 8 hours after Lachelle is believed to have been abducted. So they cordoning off everything, like I said, getting ready to process the crime scene, when the detectives look in the trash bin again, and Lachelle's fingers move. So the detective is like, oh my God, y'all, I just seen some movement. We need to get these concrete out of here now. So they go through the process of removing all of the little concrete slabs or whatever, and y'all, by the miracle of God, this 8-year-old little girl is still alive. So they rushed an ambulance there, and as she's going into the ambulance, she's like weak, just on her last leg, but she managed to whisper one thing before she get in the ambulance, and that thing that she whispered was Milagro. So Milagro did this to her. He left this young girl for dead. And so it go without saying that Milagro was pretty much charged and booked for the crime. And I'm not going to go into the details of the crime because Lachelle is a survivor and she's told her own story in her own way. And so I'm going to leave that down in the description box. She told it on True Crime Daily. But like I said, it's going to be in the description box if y'all want to go ahead and watch that. But moving on to his trial and sentencing. He was sentenced in 2009 and he was sentenced to life in prison. But just a year later in 2010, something happened with the law where it made it unlawful to sentence a minor to life in prison for any crime other than murder. And so since Lachelle survived her attack, Milagro will fall under this, like, I guess, new clause. I don't know. And so the courts had to, I guess, he technically didn't appeal his sentence, but the court had to re-sentence him. So in 2014, I believe, they re-sentenced him, and the judge who sentenced him to life in prison now sentenced him to 70 years in prison. But his attorneys pretty much, you know, rejected that sentence and appealed that sentence because that essentially would be life in prison for Milagro. And they said that he committed the crime out of, you know, basically insanity, if you will, because he had that intellectual disability, and his lawyer said that he operated at the level of a 7-year-old, which I'm not sure what 7-year-old y'all know who was out here committing crimes like he did. But anyways, and also it came out that Milagro was really just suffering with his health. He had kidney issues. He had to be on dialysis. He had heart issues. Like, he just got a slew of medical issues that would, you know, that his lawyers was trying to say, like, okay, a 70-year sentence is technically a life sentence for somebody who's going through all this stuff, who probably ain't gonna live for the next 10 to 15 years anyway. So the judge had to re-sentence him, and unfortunately Lachelle had to go through each and every one of these trials. So she had to sit and face this man 3 separate times. The time in 2009, in 2014, and then again in 2016 when they rejected the 70-year sentence, saying that it would have been life for him anyways. So now he's been sentenced to 50 years in prison, which either way, like, this man deserves to spend the rest of his life in prison, whether it's because of his health issues and he died because of that, or because he just spends the rest of his natural born life in prison. Because even though he was 17, he knew what he was doing. He tried to cover it up, and that's one of the things that kind of lets the courts know that they knew what they was doing was wrong, because they actually tried to cover up the crime. And that's exactly what Milagro did. He tried to cover up the crime. He put this baby in a trash bin under 200 pounds. It was actually 197, but you know, we're just gonna round up, of concrete. The doctor said that she was 10 to 20 minutes away from dying. If they would not have found her, she would not be here to tell her story today. And so you deserve everything that's coming to you, bruh. Like, you deserve it. I almost forgot to show y'all my hair, y'all. Hold on. This is about to be good. Ooh, hold on. Let me take this down, because this is gonna seal the deal for y'all. Hold on. Cause even right now, it look good. It look decent. Oh, I could have left it down the whole video. Oh, dang, that look decent too. But look, let me show y'all this. Hold on. Ooh, wait, no ma'am. Okay, so look. Actually, it looked a little decent on camera or whatever. First of all, hold on. Look at all these hairs that's flying out of these braids, out of these twists. It's some in the back too. I mean, I feel like stupid now because it actually looked a little decent on camera, but it's a mess. It's a whole mess. It's a mess. Where is it? Look at this. A mess. Just a mess. I'm taking this down tomorrow. I'm taking it down. Taking it down. Call me Chris Brown. Anyway, yeah, it's coming down. Anyways, that's it for this case. Thank you all so very much for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, because like I said, y'all, we so close to 500. Oh, we so close to 500. Please, let's get there before the new year. Anyways, like I said, thank y'all so very much for watching, and I will see y'all in the next one.